Welcome to Crimson Guitars, welcome to my home studio, and welcome to the Great Guitar Build-Off 2020 and my entrance into it. In the last episode, I basically took one of Crimson Guitar's fantastic MF kits and cut it into many, many pieces. And today I need to start putting it back together. It's going to be fun. Burn it. Haha! Yay! Don't forget that this whole thing is for charity. This guitar, as well as others built by various YouTubers and makers, will be auctioned off. And one of us will be crowned Great Guitar Build-Off 2020 champion? Something like that. I've got this. I took that out of it in a weight-saving measure. I have a chunk of wood here from the bottom of a cupboard or something like that. I'm going to masking tape and super glue trick the whole body to it. With the gaps, etc., that we need to have, so everything's spaced out properly. And then I'm going to drill some holes. And then I'm going to chop some bits out with a chisel and make some pieces with some wood and some stuff and some nonsense and fun and games. But I have a map and I'm pretty sure I know where it's going to lead. I realized very, very rapidly that just doing it by eye was not going to cut it. I needed stops in order to locate where I wanted to glue everything down. This has been fun. And you are, for the first time, seeing a smidgen of what I have envisioned for this guitar. I am not going to be drilling a multitude of holes all the way through. I'm going to route a channel all the way around in some way, shape or form. And it's not going to be held together with stuff going through. It's going to be held together with something going around, which then allows me to do what was the main point of this for me, and that is create very organic internal cavities, much like if you have seen the 90-hour build, the complication. It's a very organic, alien-y kind of a thing, and I wanted that inside this guitar, so that as well as having the gaps and the missing pieces, you've got something interesting to look at inside. I feel very good about this. Finally, it's taken days. So here is my neck. I asked for an uncarved neck for an MF kit with a paddle headstock, but I did want the holes, the tuner holes, drilled, and I've got a little pile of pre-curved, roughly cut frets to be starting with. This is going to be fun. When I started setting this up, I wasn't entirely sure which of two ways around I was going to attack this. One option was I was thinking about having three even, sections of square wood going through the center of the instrument, holding it all together with wedges and things and pins and stuff, and or putting something all the way around and holding it together that way. Seeing this means, quite frankly, I want to see through the guitar. I want to have all of these cavities and this weight removed. I want to do some carving at the moment, really. Now, this neck pocket is a little loose, which obviously wasn't the case when the instrument was in one piece. You can see how I've left a ledge on either side to give me full support. This is going to be the coolest neck pocket I've ever worked with. Turns out, obviously, that I didn't actually need to do the whole masking tape and super glue thing, but it solidified the idea. I've gone and made custom little chocks to hold in each piece of the guitar. I can take the piece that I want to work on out, do the drawings, do the carvings, etc., put it back in place, and we are good. We know what's happening. I have got a small Dremel tool, I've got a carving bit in it. What we're doing is twofold. One, on the edge of the guitar, I want to have a hollow that's carved into it. It's going to make the shape much more interesting, and into that hollow I will then be bending the side, for want of a better word, out of probably a piece of flame maple that will go all the way around and bring the guitar together. I needed to use the rasp to normalize it. If I'm going to be gluing or pinning or whatever sections inside of that curve, it needs to follow a nice curve. There are internal curves. Internal curves are not that fun. I'm going to end up with a ball bit on there instead of the sort of conical one. We have this section here where the jack socket was supposed to be, and that's not going to give me enough material to glue to. I'm envisioning a relatively small piece of material here. So I'm going to have to go over to the lathe and turn a cylinder to go inside that hole, glue that, fix that, and we'll get there. But while I'm in carving mode and still wearing a mask and all that jazz, I'm going to carry on. It feels good to be progressing, it really does. Now here begins the fun stuff. I want to chamber this all out. I don't want to remove too much material. We do need some strength, after all. I have got to have one of the best jobs in the world. I'm basically just playing. Thank you for making it a possibility. Never cheap out on saw blades and drill bits. These things are very, very important. Word to the wise, when you're wearing isotunes and you pull your mask off rapidly, it tends to shoot them just everywhere. So either don't do that or keep your workshop tidy. Just don't do that. This is now turning into exactly what I'd hoped it would, and I'm intensely happy. It is Friday the 21st of August. The final episode of this has to go live in 2 weeks. Yes, this is a national guitar building competition. International guitar building competition against some really, really cool guys. Yes, I have massively hobbled myself by choosing such an insanely complex thing to do. But yes, I'm not going to compromise on what I'm doing. I'm building something I love, something that I think is going to be absolutely unique, something that I think is going to be absolutely worth winning the competition and worth raising the most money for charity, which is in the end what this is all about. At this point, if you think that I can even finish this build on time, I know Texas Toast doesn't think I can. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I am trying to reply to as many comments as possible. I'm also somewhat busy. Good morning, I'm back and it's good. So I am now going to spend the next, I'm not sure how many hours, carving out various sections, and you will see a lovely montage of this, and the instrument is going to end up being a lot less weighty. Not that it was weighty to begin with, to be honest, but yeah. Before I get into that, however, I want to ask you something. What do you think of that? I'm not entirely sure. But I think I love it. I would probably make that one thinner or just take it off. I'm just worried that that's a bit pointy. But yeah, I think I prefer it. And then of course you'll be able to look in and see all of that goodness. Let me know in the comments below what you think. That's better. So my thoughts originally were that I was going to put a cavity all the way through the center here and have it come out, and then essentially the piece of material that goes all the way around would start here and go around to that point, start there and go all the way around to this point, and then there. So we'd end up with four curved pieces. Incidentally, I'm still thinking about removing that outside section, but you could maybe have the piece just go all the way around, and that makes the curve that we like, but also allows us to look through the guitar. Anyway, so the interesting thing is that while that point there is midway between the pickups, that point is not, and it would look weird. I'm also wondering about tone transfer and strength and all that. I don't think that having a hole going through here would cause an issue, but it is worth thinking about. I could have made my life a lot easier if I had specified my kit to not have control cavities. The cavities are going to make it more interesting at the end. Basically, I'm going to be painting the inside of all of this with shielding paint, Crimson Guitar's own, very good, etc. And you have a relatively small gap in between them. The size of the wave that is making the noise in a guitar is too big to pass through those gaps for the most part. So while it looks really bad, as long as I don't have any massive gaps, you're not going to have that much noise. So there we go. Anyway, I do have a little bit of wood turning to do. I need to make just a tube to fit a rod of mahogany to fit in there. That's so cool. All the way through. And then we've got the same here. If I have that gone, you go through like that. I'm going to drill holes through there, sunk, just for fun. It is one thing making an instrument that is absolutely unique for something like the Great Guitar Build-Off. It is another making that look good. And we are a far way off that yet. So watch this space. Well, that's pretty cool. Onto the lathe. Some old mahogany chair leg. I made it slightly conical. It fits in nicely. It's just a standard 22mm hole. Lathes are hugely fun. I would love to do some really cool, complex wood turning. In fact, I'm tempted to move my bigger lathe from Crimson to here so I can do that. And you can do some really cool things. There we go. That's gluing in. It is a different color, but that doesn't matter because I have plans. And yeah, this is going to be awesome. I am at this point going to say goodbye. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe and all of that stuff. And I say that as if I mean it by rote. Seriously, if you aren't subscribed yet, please subscribe. It means a lot to me. Let me know in the comments below what you are thinking about this build so far. Have I rescued it from the edge of total destruction so far, in your opinion, or not? I must say I am incredibly excited by it. The most important thing, though, is that this is being done for the Great Guitar Build-Off 2020. It is an entry into a competition. You will be asked to vote by putting in a raffle offer. Or buying raffle tickets, basically, to win it. The proceeds from which are all going to charity. In my case, Trussell Trust in the UK. It's trying to help end poverty and all of that nastiness, which is even more important in this day and age. I'm trying to build something interesting. I'm trying to build something that will bring value to the guitar sphere in general, not just, hey, this is a cool guitar that somebody's made. I really want to make a production instrument based on this. This is an idea that I've had now for 2 or 3 years, and yeah, it's all going to be fun. But anyway, look, check out all of the other people entered into the official Great Guitar Build-Off competition that is running along. There are 9 of us in total. And as of today, there are 27 people currently entered into the unofficial, unofficial? The side competition. And in that competition, you can win. Not only will the top 5 entrants have their video showcased on crimsonguitars.com YouTube. Crimson Guitars YouTube? Come on, I messed that one up. The top 3 people will get prizes and coupons and vouchers and free guitar kits and all sorts of stuff from crimsonguitars.com. So yeah, check all of that out. This whole thing has been, it's a little bit later. It was conceived early on in lockdown, but the whole thing is to get people building, to get people making things, and to obviously raise money for charity. So check out as much as you possibly can. Hashtag Great Guitar Build-Off. My personal Instagram is @TheRealBenCrow. @Crimson Guitars is also posting stuff all the time, and @Great Guitar Build-Off, or maybe The Great Guitar Build-Off. I'm not entirely sure anymore. I've had a dusty day. I will see you fantastic people in a couple of days. We are releasing these videos with alacrity. So watch this space. See you soon. Goodbye. Okay, is that actually glued? Is that going to hold itself together? I think so. Yeah, cool.